The story of Jack, the 1% change. Let me tell you a story about a man named Jack. Jack was an aspiring professional cyclist, and no matter how much effort he put into his training, he was stuck. He wasn't getting the results he expected. It felt like he was training endlessly but wasn't seeing progress. Like many of us, when we're striving for something big, Jack was frustrated. He wanted to break into the top ranks of competitive cycling, but despite his hard work, he couldn't quite push through. One day, Jack's coach, a seasoned veteran of the sport, sat him down for a talk. Instead of giving him a new, intense workout or diet plan, the coach gave Jack a different piece of advice. He said, "Jack, what if you focused on getting just 1% better each day? If you improve by 1% every single day, at the end of the year you'll have improved by 365%. That's the power of compounding habits." Jack was skeptical at first. 1%, he thought, that's so small it feels insignificant. But Jack decided to trust his coach. He made small adjustments. He paid more attention to his sleep, fine-tuned his diet, and made his daily training routines just a little bit better by 1%. At first, it didn't feel like much. Some days the changes felt so minor that Jack wondered if they were making any difference. But over time, those 1% improvements stacked up. By the end of the season, Jack wasn't just a slightly better cyclist. He had shattered his personal best and had earned a place on the podium at one of the biggest cycling events of his life. The real lesson from Jack's journey wasn't about the intensity of his effort. It was about consistency and the power of making tiny improvements each day. Over time, those small changes compound and lead to massive transformation. Summary of Atomic Habits by James Clear. In Atomic Habits, James Clear explores the concept of habit formation and how small changes can lead to big results. The book isn't just about making changes. It's about creating systems that allow you to become the person you want to be. Whether you're looking to improve your health, productivity, relationships, or anything else, small habits are the key. The power of tiny habits. We often think that to change we need to make drastic moves, but Atomic Habits shows that the real power comes from tiny changes made consistently. Think about Jack's 1% improvement. If you just focus on getting 1% better every day, you won't see drastic changes right away, but in the long term, that small change builds into something huge. Clear argues that these small, incremental habits, when compounded, produce results far greater than the sum of their parts. So, if you want to make lasting changes in your life, start with tiny, manageable habits. Don't expect a transformation overnight, but trust the process. The 4 laws of behavior change. James Clear outlines 4 fundamental laws of behavior change that can help you form lasting habits. Make it obvious. Your environment shapes your habits. The first step in making a habit stick is to make it obvious. To make a new habit easy to spot, set visual cues. If you want to drink more water, place water bottles in places you will see them often. If you want to work out more, lay out your workout clothes the night before so they're the first thing you see in the morning. The key is to make the habit something you can't ignore, so it naturally becomes part of your routine. Make it attractive. Craving. If you want to make a habit stick, make it attractive. Pair your habit with something you enjoy. This is where habit stacking can come in. Combine a new habit with something you already love to do. For instance, if you enjoy listening to podcasts, you can make it a rule to only listen to your favorite episodes while you work out. The more attractive a habit is, the more likely you are to do it. Make it easy. One of the biggest barriers to success is complexity. The simpler your habits are, the easier they are to stick with. If you want to start exercising, don't aim for a 90-minute workout right off the bat. Start small. Commit to 5 minutes of exercise a day. Once you're consistent with that, you can gradually increase the duration or intensity. The goal is to make the habit so easy that you can't fail. If it's too hard, you won't do it. So start simple. Make it satisfying. The final law is to make the habit satisfying. The The more you associate a positive feeling with a habit, the more likely you are to keep doing it. It's like treating yourself after a successful workout or celebrating your small wins. Clear explains that habits are formed when they give you an immediate reward, which is why so many people struggle with things like long-term goals. They don't always offer instant gratification, but by making the process enjoyable and rewarding, you'll be more likely to stick with it. The plateau of latent potential. Sometimes we get discouraged because we don't see immediate results. This is where the concept of the plateau of latent potential comes in. This idea explains that our efforts don't always show immediate results, and we often feel like we're not making any progress. But just because results are hidden doesn't mean they aren't happening. Think about Jack's story again. At first, his 1% improvements felt tiny, almost insignificant, but eventually they compounded and led to massive gains. The key is to trust the process and understand that real results take time to show up. Identity-based habits. Claire argues that the most powerful way to build lasting habits is to focus on identity rather than outcomes. Instead of setting a goal to lose weight or run a marathon, focus on the type of person you want to become. For example, say to yourself, "I am the kind of person who works out regularly," rather than, "I want to lose 20 pounds. When your identity shifts, your habits will follow. You'll begin to naturally do the things that align with your desired identity. Environment design. Shape your space. Your environment is a powerful tool in forming habits. One of the most effective ways to make good habits stick is to design your environment to support them. If you want to eat healthier, fill your kitchen with healthy snacks. If you want to be more productive, create a work environment free of distractions. Clear emphasizes that rather than relying on willpower, you should set up your environment so that it naturally guides you toward your desired habits. How to implement these ideas? Now that you have an understanding of the core principles, it's time to take action. Start small, just like Jack did. Begin by making tiny improvements in areas of your life that you want to change. Build on your habits gradually. Use the 4 laws of behavior change to make your habits obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. The takeaway: focus on the process, not the outcome. As you finish your workout, remember this: you're not just building a workout routine, you're building the person you want to be. Whether it's cycling like Jack or taking on a different challenge, start small, improve by 1% every day, and let those habits compound into something amazing. Feel that? The energy you've got right now? That's you taking action, one step at a time. Today is the start of your journey toward massive growth, and you're already on your way. Keep pushing, stay consistent, and remember, the power of small habits will take you farther than you ever imagined.